It's time for the Double J Podplex, where wrestling lives. So man up and step on in. For all your wrestling news and commentary, here are your hosts, Jeremy and Jimmy.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are finally back after about a 2 to 3 month hiatus.
Hiatus. Funny word. Greek meaning frog.
Frog.
The
Velvet Fog.
The velvet fog.
So, we haven't recorded in quite some time.
Yeah,
due to scheduling and just,
scheduling, and I was getting my hip replaced.
Yeah.
I had hip replacement surgery on the 19th. And thank you all for all the well wishes. It went well, and hopefully one day I'll be able to ride yet again. So.
And I stubbed my toe today, but
right.
Which
it's almost, about you,
which almost caused us to not record today. But I figured I'd power through it.
Yeah, power through it. We are the champs.
Absolutely. But yeah, so we're back. And by the way, I would like to apologize for not being up to date with our wrestling show. I mean, I'm sure it disappointed a lot of our listeners, if not all.
Yeah, all 6 of them were upset. But hey, when we talked to you anyway, so it doesn't really fucking matter.
Absolutely.
But as far as this goes, we're gonna jump right into it. We are back from our hiatus. We will not leave you. We will be here. We will continue the pageantry.
The pageantry.
That is the Double J Podplex.
Good word.
And I have great, especially when Uncle Jimmy's been drinking. So,
yeah, absolutely.
The pageantry that is the Double J Podplex will keep living on and on and on and on and on, because here in the man cave we rule the airwaves. So, moving right along.
Yes.
Clash of Champions 2017 is sure to be a show that we remember for quite some time. Or at the same time, maybe a show that we'd easy to forget.
Right.
We will decide. We will, we will rule this. So let's jump right on to it. The pre-show match between Zack, Ryder, and Mojo Rawley. One thing I'll say, and I'll pass it on to you, Jeremy, because what I have to say is actually very quick. I like the fact that Mojo turned on Zack. I think it's about a month and a half too damn late.
Yeah.
But I do understand why it happened. I like it. I think it can go places if you allow it to.
Yes.
Hence the fact they have it on the fucking pre-show. I don't know that you allow it to now. So, that to me is a slap in the face, but at the same time, what other match on this card is going to be the pre-show?
Yeah,
I guess it would be Rawley and Zack Ryder. But if I had to select a winner, this is a no-brainer. You don't have to think a lot for this. It's Mojo Rawley. Mojo Rawley is going to go over on Zack Ryder, because in all honesty, they have a higher future for Mojo than they do for Zack, as much as I hate to say it, because Zack was one of my guys, when I started getting back into wrestling. So,
right.
Simple as that. Mojo. Jeremy, what's your thoughts?
I'm going to go with Mojo as well. I guess they had to kind of throw a little bit of spice into this soup of what is this story they have going.
Right.
Because it was just kind of stale. I mean, both the guys were just kind of stale, and they had to do something.
Well, the fact is, you had a moment to push the hype bros, and you didn't do it.
Yes.
You had a moment to really push them past what they should be, and you didn't. And also the fact, and we're going to discuss the next 2 matches, and also let you know that fact, they didn't need a 7th tag team. They didn't need more of a tag team. So split them up, see what they do, on their own. See if Mojo Rawley really can survive on his own, which I actually think he can. I think he's going to be a pretty decent heel.
I tell you what, if someone like Rob Gronkowski can't catapult this story.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nobody can. Absolutely. So yeah, Mojo. Moving right along. We're going to do this before the championship match. So we're just going to talk about Breezango versus the Bludgeon Brothers. Now, what's interesting to me is you have 2 groups. Breezango, which has quickly become a fan favorite and a favorite of mine as well.
Right.
I mean, I think what they're doing with the Fashion Files is hilarious.
No, they're funny.
The Bludgeon Brothers are a throwback to Demolition, to the Road Warriors. They are just fun to watch, and they have literally bludgeoned every damn team they've faced, although they haven't faced any real big names yet, but they have, taken care of everybody they had to take care of. So, in your mind, Jeremy, who ends up taking this one home?
I'm going to go with the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah, I think I may have sold that one.
Yeah.
The fact is, Breezango does not need to win this match. Breezango doesn't have to do a damn thing.
Oh, yeah.
But the Fashion Files.
Keep going with the Fashion Files.
Keep going with the Fashion Files. I'd love to see them get interjected in the title picture at some point. It's not needed right now. They've found their, Tyler Breeze and Fandango are funny as hell. They deserve to be where they're at. They deserve to be on this roster, and they've proven that. They're proven to be a hell of a little sideshow, and I use that in a good term. But yeah, Bludgeon Brothers, I think they're going to be in the title hunt, at least for the next pay-per-view, in my opinion. They're going to challenge the winner of our next match we're going to be jumping into. But you go Bludgeon Brothers as well.
Yes, and to reference what you said earlier about the Bludgeon Brothers remind you of the Road Warriors Demolition.
Complete throwback.
They kind of remind me of do you remember the I think they were called the Highlanders?
Yeah, well, a little bit. They remind me of the Highlanders because of Eric Rowan. Because of him being redheaded and stuff. Yeah, a little bit. But they're way more athletic than the Highlanders.
Yes.
I mean, if we're being honest, the two combined are way more athletic than even the Road Warriors were.
No question.
Or even Demolition was. These two guys are extraordinary. And Luke Harper, as we've discussed before, is just an incredibly underrated talent.
Underutilized talent.
Underutilized
for sure,
as hell.
Yeah.
And the fact that you're allowing him to have a comeback, so to speak, and with his buddy Eric Rowan, who he came into WWE with, as well as Bray Wyatt, of course. That's whatever. But I think this is going to be the start of something very, very beautiful for the Bludgeon Brothers. I think they're going to be a future tag champs, and who the hell is going to stop them?
I agree.
Speaking of who's going to stop them, as great as that match seemingly will be for the Bludgeon Brothers, we have a fatal four-way.
We do.
For the Tag Team Championship. This is another reason why SmackDown is the frickin' show. The Usos, of course, our champs, will defend their title against three other teams. The New Day, Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin, and of course Rusev and Aiden English, which to me is maybe the most surprising tag team that we've seen in quite some time. But not surprising tag team that is working. It is working. They're enjoyable as a heel group. And I wouldn't be surprised if they gave him a little nudge. But what's your thought process on this?
I read that they were going to be going back and forth between the Usos and the New Day as far as championship reigns. Mm-hmm. Because from what I understand, the powers that be at WWE wants the New Day to be known as the greatest tag team of all time. From what I read.
Well, the only issue with that, and this is the reason why the Fabulous Freebirds aren't considered in the conversation of best tag teams of all time, because of the fact that they're three guys.
Right.
I think that actually alone takes them out of that conversation.
Yeah, because
they turn into a faction at that point. They turn into a faction, and that, to me, takes them completely out of the equation on that. However, I can understand that, because the New Day is one of those teams that, when they put them together in the beginning, it seemed like one of the biggest flops WWE's ever made, and it turned into what it is today. And believe me, that is not because of Vince, that is not because of writers, that is simply because how damn good Big E, Kofi, and Xavier Woods really are.
Yep.
And it had to take them turning heel for them to realize it, and for the fans to realize it, but they created the New Day, not Vince and company.
Right.
Those three guys created the New Day. So, if I had to jump in there, I'm just going to keep it simple. I think you're going to see a hell of a match because of all the competitors involved. Mm-hmm. But the Usos are retaining. I don't see any reason for the Usos to lose it as of right now.
Right.
Especially the way the Usos talk and as cocky as they're getting. Imagine how they'll be beating three other teams. You're going to want some team to shut them up. And maybe that's where the Bludgeon Brothers come in.
That's something I'd like to see. I would really like to see that.
Love to see it. And it's not It's not too early to say that. It's not too. This isn't a new. It's a new team, but these aren't new guys in WWE. It's not too early to say it. So,
and then it would validate, Luke Harper to an extent.
I'd love to see him win a championship.
Yeah,
I'd love to see him.
Any type of goal.
He and Rowan deserve a damn championship. I wish they were still with Bray, but that's another conversation for another day.
Yeah.
So who are you going with?
I'm gonna agree with you on the
stick with Usos. Yeah, I think that's one that's somewhat easy to call. You're gonna see some athletic shit going on in that match.
Oh, absolutely.
But I think
you know what? I think I could see that being match of the night. I could.
Yeah,
potential.
I could see that potentially being the match of the night. It depends on how much they let these guys go at each other.
Yeah.
Speaking of a match of the night candidate, moving right along to the Viper Randy Orton and the artist Shinsuke Nakamura versus the two best friends that anyone could ever have.
Right.
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Seemingly to me, this is Shane McMahon versus the two guys who aren't really down with him.
Right.
This is basically two henchmen that Shane McMahon, although he is a face, this is kind of a little bit of a heel thing to do. Hiring two of your guys to take out the two guys you don't really agree with. Which also brings up we now have two special guest referees, Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan.
I think that's probably a first, right?
I don't remember there ever being two.
Two special guest referees?
We may get corrected on that, but I don't remember there ever being two. The thing that's interesting about this, and this is one thing I think you and everyone else will definitely agree with, it's not just going to be a clean match. It's not going to be, okay, well, such and such beat. No.
Oh, no.
You don't have these guys involved for no reason.
Correct.
Exactly. My humble opinion, I'm going to make it short, simple, to the point, and I'm throwing it back at you. Fastball right back at you. I believe Daniel Bryan turns heel, but yet again, I use quotes for heel. Because nobody hates Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Correct.
And especially if Bryan turns on Shane McMahon and Randy and Nakamura, you're not going to ever hate Daniel Bryan.
No.
So heel, quote unquote, Daniel Bryan turns and Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win the damn match. Right in the stone. Done.
And I'm going to write that down as well.
Well, that was quick.
Yeah.
All right, well, moving right along.
Dilly.
Dilly. We would also like to bring you one of our what is this called when we get I can't think.
What are you trying to think?
One of our sponsors this evening.
Oh.
See, I drank so damn many of them, I can't really think at the moment. And I think I just spilled some of it on the laptop.
Oh, it's all good.
Michelob Ultra. Lime Cactus. It's cactus in a can. So thank y'all, Michelob, for the free.
Almost spit out my beer.
For the free Michelob Ultra Lime Cactus. And that's 4% alcohol by the volume. And did you know it's only 95 calories? I'm feeling light and vigorous, while drinking this. So, thank you, Michelob. And that's Lime Cactus at a Walmart near you. Moving right.
You gotta snap, dude. You gotta snap. Yeah.
Moving right along to the championship match, the Lumberjack match between Charlotte and Natalya. First of all, the Lumberjack stipulation is only to include the Riott Squad at ringside. You know you're going to have something implode. You know something's going to go down. I know what I predict, but Jeremy, who's got this?
Okay, so the mark in me wants to see Charlotte win.
Right, of course.
For some reason, I have Natalya winning. I just have a weird feeling that she's going to win somehow.
You know, it's funny you say that. My opinion on this matter is the people you have as Lumberjacks. You have two complete different sides as Lumberjacks. You have the rest of the SmackDown locker room, and you have the Riott Squad, who just debuted. By the way, I love Ruby Riott. I think she's going to be great in this company.
Yes.
And the other lady who used to be Crazy Mary Dobson. I don't even know what the hell her name is in this. But they're interesting. I think you're leading to a big-time brawl, okay, at ringside. And I think you have one of the competitors in this match side with the Riott Squad.
Wow.
And I think it's time. It is time.
Vader time.
It's Vader time.
Yeah.
It is time for the Queen to keep her crown.
Oh, okay.
And it is time for the Queen to keep her crown and side with the frickin' Riott Squad.
Wow.
Charlotte and the Riott Squad will run roughshod all over SmackDown. And it will force Natalya to turn back face, which she is more natural at. She's a more natural face.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree with that.
And then you have, there you go. You split up. It's the way it is. So in hindsight, you do have Charlotte end up winning, but she wins by, by distraction, by whatever the hell you want to call it. And she sides with the Riott Squad.
Wow.
It's going to have an intense-ass moment with Charlotte Flair and Ruby Riott in the middle of the ring. But all of a sudden, you're going to see her clock with somebody on another team. It's going to be one of those moments where you see both teams, or both sides, quote-unquote, in the ring at the same time, and Charlotte just turn around and clock one of the other ones. And Charlotte Flair will side with the Riott Squad. So,
Jimmy, I like to say that I like how you think outside the box here.
I'm nothing but outside the box. I live outside the box.
I've never lived in a box. You live in a box.
I live, yeah. So I have to be outside the box when I'm no longer. Yeah, you got it. So as far as that goes, I think that's set in stone. By the way, I do like what they're doing with Ruby Riott. I love what they're doing with Paige and Absolution on Raw as well. I think that's setting up, and I'm not going to say a whole lot about that because we'll talk about that later, but that's obviously setting up Paige versus Asuka, which I think is, if there's ever been a money match as far as women's wrestling, that's a money match.
Absolutely.
Moving right along to something that I think is not getting enough talk. Baron Corbin, our champion, our United States champion, versus the glorious one, Bobby Roode, and the show-off Dolph Ziggler. This match, although it has not really been billed correctly, in my opinion, and many other people's opinion, has not been booked correctly as of yet, this is going to be a great match if they allow it to, because of the competitors involved.
Yes.
However, to me, I don't see any reason for Baron Corbin to lose this title. However, if he indeed does, I would have to give the nod to Bobby Roode. But
right.
I don't know. I don't think it's Baron Corbin's time to lose it yet. I got to stick with Corbin. I don't know.
I'm going to stick with Corbin as well.
Yeah, Dolph, they've screwed Dolph. Dolph is going to Ring of Honor. All right, Dolph's going to Ring of Honor to hang out with Cody Rhodes. That's just what's happening. Okay, they fucked Dolph Ziggler many times, and he goes from pinning Triple H at Survivor Series to us, the Authority, out of office. Of course, helped us. All thanks to Sting.
Right,
but still,
right.
He actually pinned Triple H. He was the sole survivor. Okay, and he now is.
I remember that.
On the outside looking in.
Yeah,
and it's a tragedy. It's another guy who the fans were behind, and you screwed him. So Dolph Ziggler's going to be going to Ring of Honor. You lost another great talent, and Baron Corbin wins this match. However, how great would it be to see the Glorious One stand on top with that title?
Well, that'd be glorious.
It'd be pretty damn glorious.
It'd be glorious.
So, and he will defend. He will defend until he's victorious. So, as far as that goes, by the way, if you have not seen the Glorious Bombs, which I'm sure all of you have, the Glorious Bombs are exceptional. Just go to YouTube, type in Glorious Bombs, and Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa they're just fabulous. They're fabulous human beings.
So funny.
By the way, Johnny Gargano may actually be one of the best wrestlers on the face of the planet. I don't know if that's new news because everybody already knows that shit. So,
right.
Anyway, yeah, I have more to say about him, but this is not an NXT moment yet.
Speaking of NXT, for all you listeners out there, I do believe the NXT TakeOver tickets go on sale this weekend.
Ooh.
For Mania, for the TakeOver.
So you mean you get to see guys like Aleister Black?
You get to see guys like
Adam Cole.
You
get to see Johnny Gargano,
Black, all these guys.
Velveteen Dream. I mean, you have the Authors of Pain. You have some fantastic guys in Ring of Honor in NXT, and I don't know how you miss it. There's rumors that Tommaso Ciampa may be coming back by that. And first of all, the move, I'm going to get to NXT just for a second. The move, how the hell Triple H got Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly to leave Ring of Honor, or at least to sign with WWE. is beyond me. To sign with NXT, the developmental brand, that is huge.
Yeah.
Having these 3 guys signed, the Undisputed Era, as they call themselves, is just enormous. O'Reilly and Fish were a great tag team known as Red Dragon in Ring of Honor, and they showed they have the stuff to exist. Adam Cole, he is he is the best heel you're not talking about. He's the best heel you don't talk about enough. And Adam Cole is going to go places, believe me, but he is in a great stomping ground with NXT. NXT has nothing but value. You're going to see a hell of a show. And if Aleister Black is not one of the best things you've ever seen,
dude,
you haven't seen much. So
I tell you what, I could see Adam Cole like having great matches with Ziggler.
Oh God, yeah.
I could.
Adam Cole is just one of those guys who is just so freaking good, and he's a guy who was decent and really developed. You know, in all honesty, I mean, if I'm going on a little bit of a tangent, but I'm actually going on a tangent, but it's going to move into our next match. AJ Styles was like that. AJ Styles was good in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then he turned into phenomenal. I think you need to see the same thing out of somebody like Adam Cole. I think you see the same thing out of somebody like, Johnny Gargano was the same way.
Right.
It takes time. And Adam Cole has had about a 10-year career in wrestling in general. And has finally found his footing. So I think he's going to be a guy for years to come. And the thing is, the main event at TakeOver is going to be, of course, it's supposed to be, whatchamacallit? Who the hell is the champion right now? I feel like I should know this. He beat
Drew McIntyre.
No, McIntyre lost.
Right, I'm saying he beat Drew McIntyre.
He beat Drew McIntyre.
Right.
Andre Cien Almas.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Andre, yeah. I always fuck it up. Anyway, he's going to be facing. It looks to be either Aleister Black or possibly Adam Cole. There's somebody else. Anyway, I'm rambling about that. Going on to the next match, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles defends his title against the modern day Maharaja. Jinder Mahal.
No. Try it again.
The modern day Maharaja.
There you go.
Jinder Mahal.
There you go.
As simple as it sounds, the phenomenal one has done such a great damn job with this title.
Absolutely.
I believe Mahal and AJ Styles win the championship.
I could totally see it. I could see it.
But he did. I thought he was one of those guys who needed the title to be relevant. He does not. Jinder Mahal will be relevant from now on.
Well,
he's made his mark.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, he wasn't relevant until he won the title.
Right. Well, of course.
So obviously he had to have won the title first.
He had to win
relevant.
the title to become relevant. Absolutely.
But now he doesn't necessarily need it.
No, I don't think he does.
Right.
I don't think he does. And he moves on. I mean, AJ Styles would move on to bigger and better things. May it be against somebody like Nakamura at Mania, or may it be against a heel Randy Orton. I mean, AJ Styles has bigger and better things. And can you imagine the match that he and Orton would have? Orton is another one of those guys who is not talked about enough as how great he is in ring. Right. And how great he is when he's with somebody great. Mm-hmm. When he's with somebody who can rumble with him, he puts on freaking shows. So AJ Styles wins. I would like to see the Singh brothers turn on him to give it a little bit of extra interest, because then you have a storyline of, all right, well, AJ's not going to accept them.
Right.
They're not going to become his lackeys. They're not Bullet Club material. Okay. So what happens with that? So it adds extra storyline. It's something that SmackDown would do, because SmackDown is the better written show. Even if they don't have the quote-unquote best players, it's much better written. Yes. I mean, it's just as simple as that. So I look forward to it. You're going to see a good match. Jinder Mahal is not a bad wrestler. He is a throwback, though. He's a throwback-style wrestler, but he's not a bad wrestler.
Sure, which I can appreciate.
And AJ's going to bring out the best in him.
Yeah.
So you get just like he did with Brock Lesnar, which was a much better match than many expected.
I tell you what, that match, that match was great.
Yeah, it was. You saw Lesnar actually wrestle, man. You saw him actually, seemingly enjoying a match.
I remember when I was watching that, just saying to myself, like, I think Lesnar was hurt in that match.
Yeah.
With the calf crusher that he did on him.
Yeah.
And then I remember when he tried for a phenomenal forearm, and he caught him.
Yeah.
When he caught him, he
exactly.
He kind of buckled a little bit, and he did the F5 and pinned him. And then after that, when he exited the ring, he like sat on the apron, and he kind of hopped off.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I
fell,
saw that. Yeah,
and then he like his knee buckled again, or his leg buckled, and you heard him go, "Shit!" I remember seeing that.
Yeah, well, the thing about Brock that. I'm not the biggest Brock fan, but the thing I will say, he sells like a son of a bitch.
Oh, yes.
He sells like a son of a bitch.
110%.
And that match wouldn't have been as great if it wasn't for Brock Lesnar selling the way he did as well.
Right.
But it's always said that the mark of a great wrestler, the mark of a great in-ring performer, is even if you know the other guy's going to win,
yes,
he still makes you think otherwise.
Right.
And AJ Styles did that multiple times in that match.
I agree.
And Brock, of course, being his partner in that match, helped him.
Mm-hmm.
But there was so many times where I'm like, oh shit, AJ's actually going to do it. And also, WWE, as much as I put them down and stuff about booking, they deserve a little applause on that one. I mean, they definitely, didn't just make AJ Styles look like a rag doll. They made him look like a hell of a competitor. They made him look like somebody who could beat Brock Lesnar. So, first of all, I mean, why the hell aren't you letting Finn do that type of shit? But I could go on a rant for that for a day and a half.
Yeah, that's something we could discuss an entire hour and a half show on.
Yeah, Finn fucking Balor, dude. Prince fucking DeVitt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and he's in, like, matches against somebody we've never heard of. By the way, I do want to walk with Elias.
So do I.
I want to bring that up. I love Elias Sampson.
I would totally walk with Elias.
I love Elias. I think Elias Sampson is one of the next up-and-comers. I've called it for a while, by the way. But I think Elias Sampson is a guy who can compete with anybody. He's good enough in every asset. I don't know, and it seems like they're eventually going to push him, but where the hell's the room right now?
Right, yeah.
You pushed Kane, who's 1 foot in the grave right now. And I'm as big of a Kane fan as anybody, but his
time is up.
And okay, well, let me put it like this: if this is the time to send Kane off, I agree with it.
Yes,
if it's time, okay, say Kane even beats Brock, which is crazy.
I'll be honest,
but say if he beats him and then drops it the next night, it's a swan song. Okay, cool.
Isn't that what? If I'm not mistaken, okay, how many times did Kane hold the title? Was it twice?
Twice, I think.
Because he won it the first time. First time he won it, if my memory serves me correctly, he won it the first time and beat Stone Cold, right?
I think.
It was the first blood match, I remember, because Stone Cold was bleeding, I think, and the ref saw him, and he lost. But I think Kane lost the title back to Stone Cold the next night.
Yeah, that would sound about
if I remember correctly, but I could be wrong. But then didn't Kane also win a Money in the Bank match?
Yes, he did. He did when he was completely unmatched.
And then he cashed in and won it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
But honestly, dude, just like you said, if he were to win it again, because I always felt that Kane was one of those guys that they never really, they made him out to be like this dominant figure, such as like Braun Strowman,
But you notice, yes, and
they didn't really.
He was never thought of as a core guy in the Attitude Era.
Right.
Now, yet again, when you mention Attitude Era and you start mentioning names, you eventually mention Kane. But you mentioned Austin, you mentioned Rock, you mentioned Hunter, you mentioned Shawn Michaels, you mentioned Taker, Mankind even before you mentioned Kane. Right. And that was an issue because he was a guy who was so freaking loyal to the WWE in his time, and And
you know who else, in my opinion, and I think you'll agree with me on this, is one of those big guys that never really, like, I don't want to say made it big, because that's not what I'm trying to say, but, like, didn't quite accomplish, as much as others did as Big Show.
Yeah. And with Big Show,
he was always, like, just known as, I think, as that guy that just, like, he was there, and he did what he was told. Whether it be
he's definitely
something,
a company guy.
Ridiculous
the thing
or whatever.
With the Big Show, when he first came out, whether it be with WWE or whether it be with WCW, he was always viewed and booked as the big thing, like the big, just an enormous guy. He was never booked as really a championship contender, and I think that was an issue to begin with because he was always compared to Andre, and he always would be compared to Andre. Right. But Andre was champion. Mm-hmm. Why was Big Show never perceived as that?
Right. Correct.
That's something I always had a question for too. I don't know. And there's everybody talking about how much they enjoyed working with Big Show and this and that as well. Yeah, he's one of those guys as well. I don't understand that, but we could actually do a complete episode on that type of shit. Who they missed on.
Right.
But one more thing I want to bring up before we do close up shop has nothing to do with Clash of Champions, but I just want to bring it up. How do you feel about the whole Bray Wyatt and Woken Matt Hardy scenario we got going on right now? I know that's Raw, but
it's great. It's I think as long as they do it right and they just kind of let them do their thing.
Yes, you
you'll be all right.
If you were WWE creative right now, you do not.
Look, I wouldn't even talk. You go up to Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt and be like, just do your thing. Go ahead. If you don't, you're fucking stupid. Yes.
You do not. You let Matt Hardy and you let Bray Wyatt alone. Yes. Let them do what the fuck they want to do. I mean, I'm cussing a lot, but that's because I'm drinking. Let them do what the fuck they want to do.
I
the
agree.
only way this works, the only way the broken or woken character works, is when Matt Hardy has complete control. Mm-hmm. If he does not, you fail. Period.
Yeah, just don't
if
do
Matt
it
Hardy
all.
has complete control, check, i.e. TNA. When Matt Hardy has complete control, he makes brilliance and he makes gold. When Bray Wyatt has complete control, he
makes
does the
deletions.
He makes deletions, exactly. When Bray Wyatt has complete control, he does beautiful fucking things as well.
Yep. You
need to, like you said, leave these guys alone. Let them do their own thing. They will create frickin' magic. Absolutely. And this will also reinvigorate Bray Wyatt's career. Which is definitely needed right now.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it like that, too. Yeah, you're right.
So I think this helps both parties.
Yep.
Matt Hardy.
A win-win.
It's a dream match. It's a modern-day dream match. It's a modern-day broken Matt Hardy, or woken Matt Hardy, versus Bray Wyatt. It's a modern-day dream match. Just how much these guys are going to play off each other. It's good versus evil, in a way. It's yin versus yang. It's going to be something fun to watch, and I'm sure we'll be talking about that later in an upcoming episode.
Now, okay, so here, let me ask you a question now. Who would you want to win?
See, I don't know.
We can always say this for another episode.
Yeah, I don't know. That's see, Bray's my guy, so I'd probably always side with Bray Wyatt. But my God, what Matt Hardy did with the broken character in TNA and what he did to reignite his career.
I feel like you couldn't go wrong
without Jeff. I mean, Matt did this without Jeff.
Right.
When Jeff was out, which he is a lot lately. I mean,
Brother Nero.
Right. He did it without Jeff for a while. Mm-hmm. To be that damn good, and if you remember, right before he started doing all this broken character shit, he was at Wildcat in New Orleans, Louisiana.
That's right.
Against Luke Hawx. Which I'm not saying that to put him down. That was they had 600-700 people there. Mm-hmm. But I mean, my God, man! I mean, the way he reinvigorated his career, was exceptional, and that is what he's bringing to this character now. But I'd have to go Bray, dude.
Right.
I can't go against Bray.
I hear you, dude. I mean, like I said, I don't think you could really go wrong with
no.
anything. Whatever you decided. So that'll do it for us, huh?
I believe that'll do it for us, and I'd like to thank y'all once again. I don't know that we'll be back before Christmas, so a very Merry Christmas to everybody who's listening. And we're not going to say Happy Holidays because we're not fags, but
a Happy Festivus instead.
A Happy Festivus, actually, yes.
A Festivus
for the rest of us. Amen. Festivus for the rest of us, where you air your grievances, because I find tinsel distracting. So,
and we're going to go to the bar.
Yes.
To the Critics' Choice Bar and test out our feats of strength.
We're going to test out our feats
and
of strength.
I am the champion.
Yeah. So, y'all have a great, safe, and Merry Christmas, and we will hopefully see you before we can tell you Happy New Year. And we're out. Y'all celebrate Festivus, please. Somebody needs to celebrate Festivus.
Which, do you know when Festivus is?
What is the actual date of Festivus?
December 23rd, the eve of Christmas Eve.
The eve of Christmas Eve. A Festivus miracle.
Absolutely. I find such a distracting.
Yeah. Oh, I also wanted to mention before we just send off, we're actually no longer an affiliate of the Big Baller Brand. I'm done.
Good. I was never with the Big Baller Brand. I was only you.
Yeah. We're done here at the Double J Podplex with the Big Baller Brand. And that's it. All right. Signing off from us to you, by you, WNA.